welcome to the First Reviews podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Kourtney Roy, director of the film Kryptic. Kourtney, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. Uh, Kryptic is a fascinating film that manages to incorporate many science fiction and fantasy elements, including time travel and body horror, as well as has real conversations about identity and sexual abuse. While you were writing this film with Paul, the writer, how long was that process to get your checklist correct and incorporate all of these different elements in the film?
Um, I mean, Paul had a first draft ready by after 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's fast or not, but probably from the point where we started, like just sitting down and brainstorming to him going away and working at it and writing with the first act and then the first draft and then having something presentable or that we felt was presentable. But 1 year, yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's quick.
Is it okay?
With the film, one of the things that I love about the film is that a lot of it takes place outdoors. I love all the outdoor elements and all of the shots, which I know you're a photographer, so that was a lot of incorporation there. With the film mainly taking place outdoors, what was the location scouting process like? And those shots that you wanted, were there any moments that were improvised based on lighting?
Mm. Improvised moments based on lighting. Uh,
Like times of day?
oh yeah, I mean, David and I sometimes went out very early in the morning, because we had no time. We needed, like, I don't know, in like shots, like material, like mountainscapes or forestscapes, things that just kind of, just help kind of create a nice sort of rich environment. And so yeah, we'd go out really early in the morning and drive up a mountain, and I'd run around in a cape, and because we didn't have anybody with us, except him and I. So and there's sometimes like just really amazing stuff that made into the film because it was just so beautiful. And all these shots were never actually scripted. It was just stuff that we thought we needed to have, and we didn't use
Okay.
everything. We used quite a bit, so that was pretty neat. Using kind of that's kind of funny. It's early in the morning. We're tired. It's kind of but there was something kind of fresh about it too when you're just like a little small teams, which is probably more the closest to photography we got. Was where it's like you just go out one or two people and you start shooting and you see what happens.
Great. Thank you. The actress Chloe is just amazing in this film. She's fantastic. She plays two different characters. What was the casting process like to get Chloe on board? And both her characters originally written to be played by one actor, or was that changed later on?
Second question, it was always the same actor. So that this, two characters, one actor. That was always the case. And Chloe came on. It was like 3 weeks before we were start production, and we hadn't cast K Barb yet. And then casting agent Katie in England, they did a casting and she sent us over obviously a big list of a really talented, wonderful actors, and Chloe was among them, and she like immediately jumped out. I was like, oh my god. And Paul, the writer, too, because we were the first ones to sort of see it. Producers were like, hey, check this out. Let us know your favorites. And I was like, well, it's her. And Paul's like, yeah, obviously it's her. So, and I kind of keep making this joke, but I was really like, you guys got to book her now because she went to the wrong casting. Like, this is not her agent fucked up somewhere, and we got to get her on and sign this contract before they realize what they did.
The monster in the film is called Sooka, which is a fictional monster that you guys also created and wrote for the film. Did you ever play around with the idea of incorporating a monster from mythology like the Mothman or one of those monsters?
Well, I really like the Mothman. That's pretty cool. Sorry, oh, my camera there. That's a pretty creepy cryptid. I was kind of obsessed, terrified of it. Maybe like 20 years ago or something. Like from the early 2000s, I was a little obsessed with it. But no, we did. They have such legends and myths around them already. There's such a I don't know, like a plethora of information and what they do. It's kind of like vampires, or we've got there's rules. There's ways things are done, and or not done, or you can break it, of course, that's, breaking the genre, and I just didn't I wanted to have our own monster. I didn't want a monster where people are like, "That doesn't look like Bigfoot," or "That doesn't Mothman doesn't do that," like, just some douchebag kinda point out all my errors. Well, there's no errors when you make up your own monster. It's like, there's no it's free for image rights, no trademarks on it, it's great.
That's true. Yeah.
Can't trademark a monster you just make up, and it's pretty fun. It was pretty fun to do.
The Sooka is also left very ambiguous. Many moments that we are interacting with the Sooka, it's visually he's always looks a little bit different. It's always very fast paced. Was this intentional to leave the character or the monster ambiguous as opposed to having like a full in your face shot of what he looks like?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, lots we had shot some stuff full on as well, just to, play around within the edit, but, I think it was for us, we felt that in this case, the less you see is better because of the sense of mystery and the sense of well, yeah, mystery, but also, I mean, the creature, even its existence, I think it was still like up until a certain point in the film, or even maybe till the end, like, its actual existence or not is not really what counts. It's what's going on around it, that, what does it engender? What type of situations, or yeah, situations or things does it insert, or somehow, make, and yeah, situations that inserts, or creates, that make people behave differently, or brings out certain aspects of people's personality or not.
You have been screening. This film has been screening at festivals all over the world, from Brussels, the South by Southwest, Fantasia, and now it's going to be available for people to see all over the world on digital. What has this film journey process been like for you, from production and now to global release?
From production, okay, production, obviously lots of stress, stressful whirlwind. And then post production, long, much calmer, still moments of stress, great teams, both of them. And then this actually the fun part's been the festivals. I mean, that's kind of now. I mean, I can relax. Maybe not everybody, but I'm sure the producers are still working. But it's not, well, relax. But going to present the film and showing it to the world, like, that's kind of what we made it for, right? People say, like, "Oh, I made the movie for me." I'm like, nobody. You don't make a movie for yourself. You make it to be seen. You want people to share in this story you have, right? So.
Now that the film is going to be seen from a global audience, what do you hope people notice or pick up, or what kind of reactions you hope people see, other than, like, you've already had reactions from the film festivals?
Um, I hope people go like, "I don't know what the hell just happened, but I really enjoyed watching this." That would be, like, really ideal. I remember saying one time, watching it for, like, the millionth time in the sound studio with the sound people. We were watching it for a sound run, and, I kind of fell asleep because, yeah, I've seen my movie a lot, and I woke up for the last 20 minutes, and I kind of woke up just in the last 20 minutes. I kind of kept this mindset, like, as though I just didn't know what I was watching. Just it was kind of easy from waking up. And I'm watching it, and I thought, and then the credits rolled, and I stood up. I was like, "You guys, that's a fucked up movie." and they go, "Yeah, but we always want to know what happens next." And I went, "Okay, good. That's perfect. Thank you."
You're a photographer. Your practice as a photographer. You've incorporated elements of your photography practice in the film. Um, have you learned anything about yourself during this journey of creating this film? Have you learned from the film to your photography practice?
Oh, definitely. Um, definitely, like, no, I can't think of it, but I have. I would say, um, even like directing my models when I'm shooting models, like, about more creating a space where things can happen, like seeing, letting them take initiatives more, just being like, "Hey," like, we're giving them little pushes, but, like, less controlling about poses or what exactly I want to do, more like just feeling out what the model is and what they want to do. And that's kind of, I felt like that was much more with the actors, for sure, for me anyway, which I really enjoyed. Also, like, just kind of also not make, like, even on the film, like, even if it's like high pressure, I like watching my producer Amber, a lot of pressure on her, obviously running this show, and she and she would never make rash decisions, even if like we're like we got to write this new scene for tomorrow morning. It's like, well, we're gonna sit down and think about this, and like, yeah, you're right. We do need to recast that person. I'm like, well, they're coming in on Monday and it's Saturday. Like, yeah, but like, there's no things are thought out, and everything. It's not like everything's gonna be okay, but you got to think about these things, and if you don't want to make rash decisions because you can make wrong decisions, and I uh I started doing that a bit more as well with my work. Like even if I felt like it was pressure or whatever, like okay, well we'll just sit and think about this and like and then you can always respond tomorrow. You can always make that decision later on because you should actually kind of look at the creative aspects and possibilities of this or practical aspects of it, etc. So
Awesome. Thank you for that answer. Thank
and
you.
lots of other stuff, but yeah, two off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
Well, thank you so much, Kourtney, for your time. This has been great.
Thank
For
you.
anyone watching the interview here, Kryptic is available on video on demand May 9th. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Kourtney. Have a good day.